I am so in love with this film. Call Me Mrs. Miracle is a film for which I had very high hopes. I love Hallmark films anyway, but I love Doris Roberts, and I thought the concept of this sounded pretty amazing. And I have to say, I absolutely, truly loved it. This was originally released in 2010. I believe it's also known as Miracle in Manhattan, which is a bit weird because it's actually part of the Mrs. Miracle series, which I will talk about in a second. Directed by Michael M. Scott, written by Nancey Silvers, based on the book by Debbie Macomber. And this, of course, stars Doris Roberts as Mrs. Miracle. And there are other Mrs. Miracle films. There was one released the year before this, which I think might have just been called Mrs. Miracle. I have actually seen that one after watching this, and I can confirm that you don't need to watch them in sequence, because when I watched Call Me Mrs. Miracle, I had no idea there were any others. But I am very glad there are. And in this film, Mrs. Miracle appears in this department store, and she is there, even though nobody knows who hired her or how she got there, she's there to help out the department store, which is struggling financially, and there are some conflicts of interest between the store's owner and his son, who is in charge of the toy department. And in addition to that, there are a couple of characters who could do with some romance in their life, and Mrs. Miracle is primely positioned to bring certain characters together, one of whom is Holly, our protagonist. My mind blanked there. Played by Jewel Staite. Love the character. I also love Jake, played by Eric Johnson. I think they are fantastic. But I have to say, Lindy Lowe is, well, how do I describe Lindy Lowe? She is horrible and amazing. She's one of the best written antagonists I've ever seen, because she is so harsh. She doesn't hold back, particularly for a Hallmark film. Usually the antagonists are never that bad. She's a nasty piece of work. Very well played by Lauren Holly. Really, really like how well she is written. Obviously, Mrs. Miracle is the driving force behind this, and I could not imagine anybody else playing Mrs. Miracle other than Doris Roberts. I think that she is, and of course, always will be, fantastic. I actually believe that there is a more recent Mrs. Miracle, I think this year, so it's not in the UK yet, where Caroline Rhea, one of my favourite people in all of the world, plays Mrs. Miracle. So that will be interesting. But for now, I am so thrilled to have watched this. It's a lot of fun, very well developed, gorgeous, very festive. Mrs. Miracle as a character is so likeable, a real driving force behind this. I think she's incredible. If you haven't seen this, definitely watch it. As I said, I have seen the one that comes before this, and I feel like the one that came before this was not as good. And I don't know if that's just because I prefer the premise of this. I love Christmas films set in department stores. I don't know why, I just always have. Maybe it reminds me of Miracle on 34th Street, I don't know. But I would say watch this one first. I just don't want to recommend the previous one and then you not like it that much, and then don't watch this one because it's spectacular. It's magical. I love Mrs. Miracle. Call Me Mrs. Miracle is an absolutely fantastic film and exceeded all of my expectations.